So this is Divergence into Christianity. So this is a book that I've had for many years, the complete text of the earliest New Testament manuscripts. It covers the earliest New Testament manuscripts all the way up to, I think it's the 4th century. And this is the evidence of the Christian New Testament. And this is not anything promoting Christianity. Just to warn you, I'm going to blow your mind as to where these documents come from. So to start out, this has the text and a lot of times photographs. So like they'll actually print, I'm sorry if we can do this. They'll print the text for you, right? And they'll have different markers and stuff like that in there if something's missing or whatnot. But they also in many cases have the actual photographs of a I'm sorry. Boy, like right now I'm trying to find one and I can't find one. Like for instance, like papyrus P48, this is all that it is. This is all that exists of it. Okay, so I'm going to go through and basically detail all the earliest New Testament manuscripts that they have, and I'm also going to tell you a few things about them. So there's a problem because like if we go to this one and we look at what is the provenance of this manuscript, where was it found? Egypt. You go to the next one, P49 and P65, so they think it's the same manuscript. Where's its provenance? Where was it found? Cairo, Egypt, right? Go to the next one, P50, right? Provenance. Where was it found? It was found in a group of Egyptian manuscripts from Egypt. P52. Where was it found? Fayum, Egypt. P53. Where is it found? Egypt. Like this is provenance. Okay, so I'm not making this stuff up. Nearly every of the earliest New Testament manuscripts came from Egypt. If you want to look to see when was the earliest New Testament manuscript that is found in Judea, do you want to know how far you have to go in time? Nearly 1,000 years. The earliest New Testament manuscript that seems to have provenance from Judea is literally, they date it to the 9th century, but some scholars date it to the 10th century. So that's 1,000 years later, basically 1,000 years later. And you can reference that. The manuscript is noted GA 565. It's dated to the 10th century. Okay. So like here's some of the earliest New Testament manuscripts. P1, middle of the 3rd century. P4, P64, P67. So these are like fragments that they believe that are from the same document. So they have a different papyrus number for each one, but in middle of the 2nd century. P5, early 3rd century. P9, 3rd century. P12, the year 285 to 300 CE. P13, 225 to 250 CE. P15, P16, late 3rd century. P17, late 3rd century. P18, mid to late 3rd century. P20, 3rd century. P22, mid 3rd century. P23, late 2nd or early 3rd century. P24, late 3rd or early 4th century. P27, 3rd century. P28, late 3rd century. P29, early 3rd century. P30, early 3rd century. So I can just keep going on and on. I will tell you that the earliest one here is P52, which is dated to about 100 to 125. But most of the earliest New Testament manuscripts are basically 3rd century manuscripts. 3rd century. So a lot of time that transpired between when they said Christianity started and when they first found documents. And keep in mind, these documents are coming out of Egypt. There are no documents coming out of Judea. None. They didn't find them. There's one document that somebody is claiming that came out of Judea, out of a Qumran cave. So 7Q5 is the document. They claim that it's Mark 6:52 to 53. It's not even the complete thing. It's just like a little tiny fragment. And the person who makes that argument has to substitute letters. He has to misinterpret what some of the letters are. And there's a lot of debate on this. And there's even if you look up Qumran 7Q5, you'll find a Wikipedia article that covers it entirely, as well as most of these. So it seems like the earliest New Testament manuscript that you're going to find closest to the land of Judea is the Dura Parchment 24, which is the Diatessaron. It's a harmony of the Gospels, and it's only a fragment. Again, it's only a fragment, and that was found in Syria in the 3rd century. It's dated to the 3rd century. It wasn't found in the 3rd century. I'm sorry about that. I think it was found in like the 1930s, but it's dated to the 3rd century. So you really don't have any textual evidence that's really close to when Christianity started. You have a lot of stuff that's outside of the land of Israel and, well after the time. So the other thing I wanted to point out, and most people don't understand this, like Christians have no idea. And this is for the people that are on the fence out there, because there's a lot of Messianics in this area and all kinds of people that still hold on to Christianity and stuff like that. So most people don't realize that the New Testament manuscripts, they utilize gematria. So Jesus' name is not found in any of the New Testament manuscripts. His name is not even found until pretty much, I talked to a guy who was an author, a professor and author on the earliest New Testament artifacts. And we had discussed, and I asked him when the first time that Jesus' name appears, and he says it isn't really until the printing press. And this is in the New Testament documents. It's because they utilize a gematria, or a numeric value, for holy names, what they would consider holy names inside the text. So there's a name for this, and that's like nomina sacra. But these are also used in Gnostic writings as well. And basically what they do is they have Greek letters with a line above it, which indicates that it's supposed to be read as a number. Okay, and this is for a lot of stuff, but there are some startling things. So one is that there are obsolete letters used in the New Testament Greek manuscripts, obsolete Greek letters that are used, and these obsolete letters were used in the gematria methods of the Pythagorean cult. Okay, and they are stigma, copa, and samphi. Okay, now the other thing that most people don't realize is there's a verse that says, Jesus says, "Take up your cross and follow me." So why would Jesus at that time, before he went on the cross, say, "Take up your cross and follow me"? Okay, what is in the first instance in the Christian manuscripts here is not a cross. It doesn't say cross. It actually has a symbol, which is an ankh. An ankh. Just remember, these documents came out of Egypt. If you're a Christian and you're watching this, just remember, these New Testament manuscripts, they all came out of Egypt. The earliest New Testament manuscripts are basically all out of Egypt. The verse that says, "Take up your cross and follow me," it doesn't say that. It has an ankh there. It says, "Take up your ankh and follow me." Now, if you believe in the Egyptian symbolism of the ankh, and you really, that's the like, it looks like a cross, but it has like the head, almost like a head on it. Let me draw this for you. This is what an ankh is. This is what the New Testament tells you to do. You guys have seen this Egyptian symbol? This is what is in your earliest New Testament document. It says, "Take up your cross and follow me." It's actually this. It's an ankh. It's a symbol of an ankh. Are you going to take up your ankh and follow Jesus? Or are you going to say, you know what? They say that Christianity came out of Judaism. If I can't believe in Judaism, let's just go back to Judaism. If I can't believe in Christianity, let's go back to Judaism. So, you know what? That's what I encourage you to do, is to drop the ankh and go to Judaism. Or don't play the middle road and be a messianic. Just go back to the roots of what you want to believe. Okay, so that's what if you're local and you want to like challenge me on something like that, this is the material right here. If you want to see this, like, you don't have to buy this book, but this book I think I'll put it in the description as an affiliate link if you want to buy this thing. And I've gone through some various things, and it just blows your mind. This is something I had from a long time ago. So I encourage you to drop your ankh, and don't follow Jesus, and just go back to what the roots are. Okay. And then the other thing with this is most people don't realize this kind of stuff, but I like to tell people this all the time. So Joseph of Arimathea, there's no place called Arimathea. In the Gospel of Barnabas, it says Joseph bar Mathia. So Joseph, son of Matthew, is Josephus. Josephus. He's written in the Gospel. But what's interesting is he comes up in the crucifix story. So this is what you guys need to like really understand. This stuff is manufactured because Joseph Barmathia is actually, he has a biography. His biography, he says that whenever the Romans were conquering Judea, when they sacked Jerusalem, he was on their side. He was a traitor. He was a Jewish traitor to the Romans. So he saw some of his friends being crucified when they captured Jerusalem. He saw 3 of his friends being crucified. He requested that they be taken down. They brought them down off the crosses, the crucifixes. 2 of them died and 1 revived. Okay, it's not a story of Jesus. This happened in the year 70 when the temple was destroyed. That is a story that came out of Josephus's biography. So just so you guys know. All right, have a good week. Yeah. Rosh Chodesh Tov.